Okay, so I'm playing with Blender, and I wanted to do something that Microsoft Movie Maker couldn't do, and I decided to try to do it in Blender since I've been wanting to play with Blender for a while. So I'm going to tell you now, I haven't fully succeeded. I've reached a stopping point. I'm going to have to do some more research, and this whole experience has been spent doing a ton of research, one way or the other. But I will show you what I have so far, which is, okay, that's Unity, that's completely different. Let's get rid of you. What I wanted to do was I wanted to take a Videoscribe and overlay it onto a bit of video. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with everything closed on my desktop, which is kind of hard to do because I have to leave everything open. But so over here we go to Videoscribe. Right here on the desktop, Videoscribe, that's what it looks like. It's by Sparkle. It's one of a few video scribing programs that you can buy. I've bought myself the Pro Edition because I wanted unrestricted access to the software, and it's a lifetime for like $600, so it was totally worth it to me. And so now that I've entered my password, you can see these are the scribes that I've done. So what I'm going to do is, you can have it draw out a scene, which I've done in another video. For this one, I just wanted to get something to overlay, so I was doing text sequences. So to do a text sequence, you just do create, you add a text box, and you put in the value, okay, check, and there it is, see right there, and then you just say, press this arrow right here, and it wants me to save it. I'm just gonna, whatever, okay. Now, it will usually save as a QuickTime movie. What I found is that you need to save it as a PNG sequence in order to use it in Blender for an overlay purpose. So I think I had set it to 15. This is naturally set to 25. And I took out the zoom at the end. Okay, so then you do create video just like you do with anything else. Handmade. Okay, this is my so my pictures, and this is my, so these are all the sequences that I created. So you put them all in one place so that you can have everything together, otherwise it's going to be really hard to manage. And then I am going to let me do this. Let me do blob 1 sequence 5. So we'll type that in. Actually, I called it blob 1 sequence X for example. So now we're there. Okay, that's the output path, and then now it's doing it. It's taken 11 more seconds. Okay, great. So what happened when we did that, I'm going to open my file folder and go to my pictures, go to my chowder seaweed, go to my blob 1 sequence X sequence, and see what it did. I'm going to scroll down so you can see it's evolving as we go, and each one is a different image sequence with a +1 on the file number. So, and there we go. And at the end, it just stays static for a while so you can read it. Good? So those are the things that I am going to overlay in Blender onto my video. So now the thing that I'm going to show you is pretty easy to do in some things, but in Blender you kind of have to know what to do. And I've spent a fair amount of time figuring out what to do to get me this far. What does that mean? Good question. I'm going to do File New so that we can open it new, and I'm going to say reload startup. Okay, well, let's do File Save first. File Save, and then I'll do File New. Okay, so now we'll do File New. Okay, what are we doing, File New? Reload startup file. Okay, great. So this is what it looks like when you come in. This part here, you kind of want to pay attention to, because from my understanding, that is this frame rate right here. You want to know the frame rate of the video that you're importing and match this to that. So I had a little trouble, and I'm going to show you a few iterations in between. But okay, so this is the startup. Let's assume that 24 is the frames per second that's displayed. And then let's go to the video editing pane, and this is the sequence editor. This is where you lay out your tracks, your channels. And let's add the movie that I am going to overlay onto. And so this is it, Chow to Seaweed to, actually no, this is not it. This is not it. So Chowder Seaweed up, and it's this Chowder Seaweed 2.mp4. This is something that I created from Microsoft Movie Maker. Okay, first thing you're going to notice is when I imported it, look, this is the video line, and it shows 10,397 frames, and the that's the audio, and this is the video, 12,946. So look what happens here, and this is kind of a demonstration of the problem, so that you can kind of see they end at different times. And if I go here, see that's near the end of the video, but not quite there. And I'm going to do Alt-A to make it play back. And then, oh.
Birds passing overhead, it's Rosie Stockies.
Okay. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, so this is something else you need to know. When you do playback, at the bottom here of the screen, next to the playback buttons, right and left, whatever, fast forward, see this end here? You want to give that the maximum number of the frames right here, 12946. So let's just click on there, and I'm going to do 12946. Okay, so then the range, you'll see that this extended all the way to here, and so now it'll play back the entire sequence. And I only want it to go this far from here on because I want to demonstrate what that is. So Alt-A to do the playback.
The birds.
We're going to run out of audio soon. The audio is definitely out of sync. And now the audio has ended and the video is still going. See what's happening there? Okay, so we try to avoid that by trying to make these two numbers equal. So let's do file import again. So let's do Alt-A to end, and then file. I'm going to do new again. I'm going to do this a few times. So now we're going to do 25 frames per second. Now, you might not know exactly how many frames per second you have. So what I'm doing is I am guessing, which may not be the best way to do, but okay. And then, so I did video editing mode up here in the top, video editing. I selected that, put me into the sequence editor. Now I'm going to do add movie again, and then I'm going to go here to navigate to where I know that movie is, and I'm going to select it, add movie strip. Okay, so here we are. Now with 25, it came up with, it's still off, right? Did I change it to 25? Good question. Let's go back. Animation. We did 25, so let's try 30. Okay. Going back to video editing. Going to delete this. Okay, now we're going to add movie. Okay, add movie strip. Oh, here we go. So here we are, and it's pretty close. 12:946 and 12:959. I used 30 frames per second. So I think I was able to get it exactly before, and I'm not sure how I'm not able to get it exactly right now, but that's how I did it. I kind of played around with those numbers and those settings and imported over and over again. And if you see right here, it's coming pretty close to equal. So what that'll do is it'll keep your audio and your video in sync, or generally in sync, and you want it to be in sync. The next thing we're going to do is import the overlay sequences from Videoscribe. Okay, so to add those sequences, I'm just going to position the playback to somewhere that early on in the scene. So like right around here, let's say. Okay, and then I'm going to do add down here at the bottom, and I'm going to do image because it's a sequence of images. So I'll navigate to that, chowder seaweed, blob 1 sequence X sequence. Now there's a way that you can do the whole directory by specifying the directory, but I don't know how to do that, so I navigated in and I figured out that if you just press the key A when you're in this mode, it selects everything, and then, oh great, Windows 8, add image strip, and you see here it's the image strip right there. So then you can go to the next one. Oh wait, then you need to select it and change the blend setting on the sequence editor to overdrop, and that will enable it to it will make the background transparent, and you can see what's in the background there. So if you wanted to change the position of this, you can adjust the start frame to be later. Like we could say, see where it is right now, we could change this to 2000. Okay, so I made it 2000. Then we go back over there and we look, I hit enter, and it starts it over there. So now it's overlaying it onto a different scene, different part of the scene. Okay, so great. That's kind of all you need to do to get the overlay done and to write it out to a video file, right? Wrong. So this, I'm going to tell you, is where I'm getting stuck. If I do the playback, it's doing, right? So you can hear the audio, right? But when you do the output, you put it to animation mode, and this is how it's supposed to be done, is what I understand. Then you come here and you set these settings where you can configure the audio and the video, the frame rate, and the codec and whatnot. Output. So see, this is output field. And then you specify the directory that you want things to go to. You want to specify that, otherwise it's going to go to /tmp. So, and then file format. Obviously you don't want PNG. So you want to do, right, this is where I'm getting confused, because I'm specifying several different types of formats and playing around with it, and I'm doing some research on the internet. Even to get this far, it's pretty hard, because you're just going by lots of people's little questions and little bits of information. But so this is where I'm going to tell you that everything that I have seen, you can specify MPEG and write it out. What happens is you get video, no audio. And everything that I have been reading says that the only way to get video and audio synced up in Blender is to have FFmpeg installed as an option here. Now, I don't know how to do that. And I just downloaded the Blender, the compiled Blender, and I was able to run it, but it doesn't have the FFmpeg option. So that's going to be kind of a big deal for me to get to figuring out how to do that. So at this point, I have output a video, no audio, and I can play back video with audio. And they do also, some of the places I've looked also say they use an external video editor to combine the two, the video and the audio, which, you know, it's not ideal, but that's what some people seem to be doing. Okay, so there we go. And I'll put a link to the to what I have so far, so that you can go and take a look at it. Okay.